The Immortal Arsenal. Why the B-52 defies time. The grandfather paradox. In the fast-moving world of aerospace engineering, most machines are born with an expiration date. We are used to the bleeding edge, stealth fighters that look like origami, and drones that can be controlled from across an ocean. But in the hangars of Barksdale and Minot, there is a giant that defies the laws of military aging. It's known formally as the B-52 Stratofortress. To the crews who fly it, it's the Buff, the big, ugly, fat fellow. And in late 2025, it is at the center of a strange political and military debate. During a high-stakes presidential debate, the age of the B-52 was used as a talking point. The claim was simple. The B-52 is so old that your father or even your grandfather could have flown it. It was presented as a symbol of American decline, a relic that proved we weren't keeping up. But as an investigative journalist, you learn that in the military, old doesn't always mean obsolete. In fact, the truth is even more startling than the debate stage rhetoric. There is at least one documented family where 3 generations, grandfather, father, and son, have all served as crew members on this exact airframe. Let's look at the hard data. The B-52 first took flight in 1952. Production ended in 1962. That means every single B-52H currently in the United States Air Force inventory is older than almost every person flying it. If this were a car, it would be a classic sitting in a museum. But this isn't a museum piece. It's a 185-foot-long missile truck that currently carries the weight of American global deterrence on its wings. Why? Why haven't we replaced it with something sleeker, faster, and invisible? To understand why America's enemies still fear a 70-year-old airframe, we have to look past the rivets and into the heart of modern warfare. The evolution of the missile truck. Originally, the B-52 was a suicide machine. In the 1950s, its job was to fly high into Soviet airspace and drop nuclear gravity bombs. By the late 1960s, that mission was already considered a one-way trip. Soviet surface-to-air missiles, SAMs, had become too advanced. A giant, slow-moving bomber would be picked off before it ever saw the Kremlin. But the B-52 didn't retire. It adapted. The B-52 has 2 things that no other plane in the world can match in quite the same way: volume and versatility. It is essentially a flying warehouse. While a stealth fighter like the F-35 has to hide its weapons inside small internal bays to remain invisible, the B-52 doesn't care who sees it. It can lug 70,000 pounds of ordnance. In the early 2000s, during the intervention in Afghanistan, we saw the B-52 do something it was never designed for: close air support. Imagine a special forces team on the ground, pinned down. They don't need a stealth jet. They need a bomb truck that can loiter overhead for 12 hours without needing to refuel. The B-52 can stay in the air, orbiting at high altitudes where the Taliban's shoulder-fired missiles can't reach, and drop precision-guided JDAMs with the accuracy of a sniper rifle. There's a common misconception that the B-52 is only good for carpet bombing, the indiscriminate dropping of hundreds of unguided, dumb bombs. We saw this in the 1991 Gulf War, where B-52s pulverized Iraqi tank divisions in the open desert. But in 2025, carpet bombing is largely a thing of the past. It's politically toxic and militarily inefficient. Today, the B-52J is being outfitted with the internal weapons bay upgrade. This allows it to carry smart weapons inside the plane, not just on the wings. It turns the blunt instrument of the 1950s into a surgical scalpel of the 21st century. The strategic big stick. In journalism, we often talk about soft power and hard power. The B-52 is a unique blend of both. It is a diplomatic big stick. When a crisis erupts in the South China Sea or on the Korean Peninsula, the US doesn't always send a stealth bomber. Why? Because a stealth bomber is invisible. If you want to send a message to an adversary, you want them to see you coming. The B-52 is the ultimate show of force. When a buff performs a flyby near a contested island or a nuclear test site, it is a highly visible 185-foot-long reminder of American presence. But it's not just a prop. In the maritime theater, the B-52 has become a ship killer. By equipping these bombers with Harpoon anti-ship missiles and the Dragon's Eye surface radar, the Air Force has turned a land-based bomber into a terrifying naval platform. It can patrol vast stretches of the ocean, areas too large for traditional fighters, and engage an enemy fleet from hundreds of miles away. There is even a radical new theory being tested, the Arsenal plane. In this scenario, a stealthy F-35 flies deep into enemy territory. It stays quiet, keeping its radar off, using its advanced sensors to see enemy jets. But the F-35 only carries a few missiles, so it talks to a B-52 flying 100 miles behind it. The B-52 then launches a swarm of long-range air-to-air missiles at targets it can't even see, guided by the eyes of the stealth fighter. The B-52 becomes the magazine, and the F-35 becomes the trigger. The competition: Russia versus USA. To truly understand the B-52's relevance, we have to look at the competition. The debate often centers on whether Russia has newer capabilities. As a journalist, the numbers tell a different story. Russia's equivalent to the B-52 is the T-95 Bear. Like the B-52, it first flew in 1952. It is loud, it is powered by massive propellers, and it serves the same purpose of scaring foreign countries with coastal flybys. Russia does have faster planes like the supersonic T-160 Blackjack. It's a mega bomber that can hit Mach 2, but speed is an expensive luxury. Russia only has about 16 of them in flying condition. They are hangar queens, beautiful to look at, but incredibly difficult and expensive to maintain. The US approach with the B-52 has been different. Instead of building a new build supersonic silver bullet, the Pentagon has spent billions on what we call the incremental upgrade. In 2025, the B-52 is undergoing its most radical change yet. The old, inefficient engines are being replaced by Rolls-Royce F130s. This isn't just about saving fuel, it's about reliability. The old engines were so leaky and glitchy that maintaining them was a nightmare. The new J model, B-52J, will feature digital cockpit displays, modernized networking, and the ability to launch hypersonic weapons. While Russia and China are building new airframes, the US is essentially recoring the B-52, turning a 1950s airframe into a 2025 supercomputer. The future of the buff. The question remains, if we are building the B-21 Raider, the most advanced stealth bomber in history, why do we still need the B-52? The answer is economics. A B-2 Spirit stealth bomber costs about $135,000 per hour to fly. It's temperamental. Even the rain can damage its stealth coating. Using a B-2 to drop bombs on an insurgent camp is like using a Ferrari to deliver mail. It works, but it's a waste of money. The B-52 is the work truck. It costs significantly less to operate and is far more reliable. The Air Force's strategy for 2025 and beyond is a high-low mix. The high, the B-21 Raider sneaks in and takes out the high-end air defenses. The low, the B-52J follows behind, carrying the massive amounts of ordnance needed to finish the job. The Air Force is so committed to this plane that in 2015, when a B-52 was lost in an accident, they didn't just write it off. They went to the Boneyard, the famous aircraft graveyard in the Arizona desert, and resurrected a retired B-52H. They spent $13 million to bring a dead plane back to life, because even a 60-year-old airframe from the desert is more valuable than any new build alternative.
The 100-year legacy. As we look toward the year 2050, the silhouette of the B-52 will still be a constant in the skies. By the time the last J model is retired, this aircraft will have been in active service for 100 years. It is a testament to a robust and conservative design. In an era where we throw away our smartphones every 2 years, the B-52 stands as a reminder that some things are built to last. It has survived the Cold War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and the War on Terror. It has seen the rise and fall of empires, the invention of the Internet, and the dawn of the AI age. America's enemies don't fear the B-52 because it's the fastest or the stealthiest. They fear it because it is relentless. It is a platform that can be whatever the mission requires: a nuclear deterrent, a maritime hunter, a precision sniper, or a hypersonic launcher. The J at the end of its name isn't just a new letter, it's a new lease on life. The B-52 isn't a relic of the past, it is a bridge to the future of aerial warfare. And as long as its 8 engines are turning, it will remain the most influential grandfather in the history of flight. This has been an investigative look into the Immortal Arsenal. If you found this analysis valuable, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the technology that shapes our world.